Seems like it's live. Alright guys, welcome to a little tutorial for Laguna Seca. It's probably the hardest track for the Master Comp. So yeah, it's not gonna be easy. Yeah, I'll just get started with a few bits and pieces regarding the steering. In some of the other tutorials I did, there already always been a few fails. So the part with the steering wheel is not always there's not always sound on that part. So I'll just fast run through and then start going through Laguna Seca, splitting it up. Oh, what's going on? Let's see. I hope it still records or streams. I'll just have to check, because it stopped last time and that would suck if it did. Seems like I'm still live, but yeah. On my settings is as always should be 900 degrees. I've just been lazy and put it on 901. I guess I had to calibrate the wheel fast last time I did it, but yeah. And I don't use a load cell, so my force factor is on 1.80. What it means, I don't know. It's just iRacing recommend you put it in between 1.6 and 2.0, and yeah, 1.8 is in between, so I just put it there. I even think it's standard, to be honest. And yeah, I got force feedback on. As you can see, I don't have a lot of strength in the force feedback. This depends on which wheel you have, but I recommend you running a program so you can see when your wheel starts clipping. Mine probably clipping somewhere a bit higher, but yeah, I just put it here before all those tools were available. And yeah, the most important part is that your wheel is not clipping, because if your wheel is clipping, you get some wrong feedback through the wheel, and that feedback will just make you make wrong corrections. So yeah, make sure it's not 100%. Some people might say it more realistic with higher force feedback, blah blah blah. Yeah, maybe the strength in the wheel is more realistic, but the forces that you get is not accurate. So there, yeah, that's not realistic with not accurate feedback. Yeah, it seems like I'm still running, so I'll just close that again. Alrighty, and then yeah, these two I don't know what it is, so I don't have it on. Then I use a Ace pattern gearbox for the MX-5. Yeah, all this is just stupidness of iRacing, implementing mouse driving and stuff like that. And again, stupidness down here. Yeah, just and you can see shifting ace is none. So yeah, that's basically how I run. And also now the part where I want to talk about the steering in itself, how you should be driving. The most common mistakes I see when people is driving is that they simply turn the wheel too much. So that means if they go too quick into the corner and the car understeers, they start to steer even more. And if you steer more when the car is understeering, you will just understeer even more. So when the car is understeering, you start to turn less, and the car will start to turn again, and then you can start to apply the throttle or whatever you want in the given circumstance. And the other part is the amount you can maximum turn, and that is in every single car on the iRacing service, on every single track, on the surface. So if you hold your wheel, and this is important, you hold your wheel on with your left hand as at 9 o'clock, and with your right hand you hold it at 3 o'clock. You cannot hold it in 10 2 or and 10 past, because yeah, that's not working. So yeah, at 9 and 3, that's the proper position. And when you are turning, you are not supposed to move your arms away from that position, and never ever cross your arms like this. If you see the bottom of the wheel on top, you turn way too much. You turn way too much. So alright, if you hold your fingers 9 and 3, the maximum you can turn in any car, any track, yeah, is this much. So if you turn to the left, your right hand is on 12 o'clock. That's the maximum. And the same the other way, if you turn to the right, the left hand is on 12 o'clock. That's the maximum you can turn. If you turn more than that, you're just turning too much, scrubbing speed off, understeering, all the bad stuff. So don't do that. And that's the most common mistakes I see. I have been taught some people in the past that they said they couldn't understand why they were driving so slow, and why some people could have full throttle through some turns. And I didn't have to say anything else than you turn too much. And then suddenly they drove a lot faster. So yeah, it is worth a lot of time. So, and yeah, they also so said that they didn't turn too much, even though I said it, because they wasn't aware that they did that. So do some laps. You don't have to focus on doing it turning correctly. Just do as you normally do, and when you have done that, watch through your replay and see what's going on, and if you turn too much. And the few places, or if every corner, hopefully not, but if you do it everywhere, just start to think about it and start to just turn way less. Yes. Also, if you turn too much, you will also find that your tires will drop off very quickly in the race. Maybe 2-3 laps, then you start to understeer even more, and the car is very tricky to get around turns. Yeah, that's just because you are putting a lot of friction through between the tire and the surface of the road when you turn too much, and that friction creates heat, and that's overheating the tires. So again, a bummer. Not good. Yes, let's get started the Laguna track. I will just try out the pits. I don't want to do a whole lap, so I'm just cheating and going out here. And if it's gonna give me a black flag, I'm just gonna remove it, because I'm in a private test session. So obviously don't do this in a public section. Alright, the first turn, yeah, the first turn is always important to starting the lap good, obviously, but also for the motivation. If you get a bad first turn, and you can see on your splitter time or whatever you use to keep track of how well your sector times is, that's if you get a bad turn 1, it's bad for motivation, and you tend to not focus as much throughout the lap, and will lose even more time and gain frustration by that. Yeah, so focus a lot in turn 1. Yes. Alright, I have parked here, and that's because the white line here is my braking marker for turn 1. I don't brake when I'm at the white line, I brake just before I pass it, because I find the white line, braking at the white line, is just slightly late, and you can make it the first few laps, but if you keep doing it, you are a little bit hard on the tires, and you will lose more time over the race distance than you actually gain the first few laps. And yeah, it's not worth it. So brake just before the free marker, and when you start braking, you need to start pointing the car towards the apex of the turn. Don't keep going straight. It will be hard to hit the apex then. Alright, you are traveling down here and you are making the downshift through the gearbox from 5th gear, 4th gear, 3rd gear, and around here you select 2nd gear. I'll just do it, select 2nd gear, and there's two ways of taking it. You can go very narrow and hit, or not hit the red curve here, but just about hitting it, so taking a very narrow around. It's fairly quickly, again the first few laps, but then it tends to be a little bit hard when the tires are worn, or worn, I think it's called. Yeah, but anyway, so I normally don't hit the first apex. I'm traveling a little bit wide, trail braking, lifting off, coasting, and around here I'm at full throttle. And this is very important, that you get all the way into the red curve here. Don't hit the red curves around this place, it will just make you lose time. And again, tight, still full throttle, and you will go all the way out and use the exit. You can almost have a full car on this exit, so use it. It's very important to use these small curves on this track. If you don't use it, you are instantly 7/10 off, at least 7/10 off if you don't use these curves on the entry and the exit of the turns. And that's a whole lot of the time. You can feel bang on the limit, but if you don't use these, 7/10. Anyway, you get out of this turn in 2nd, you go up to 3rd pretty quickly, and then you just downshift to 4th, and you go all the way out on this curve. And between the 2 and 1 marker here, you brake quickly, brake, and when you brake, you make the downshift to 3rd gear and start to turn into the corner. The quick braking will move some weight to the front wheels, and the extra weight over the front wheel will make you turn in better. So if you turn and brake at the same time, you will feel that the car steers very nicely. But if you are in a long braking zone and start turning in, there's simply too much weight on the front and it won't steer. So the trick is to get the right amount of weight to the front wheels just when you turn in. It's not as difficult as it sounds, but yeah, you need to practice it. And the downshift, you go to 3rd gear obviously, and also when you're on the brakes and you transfer weight to the front and you steer in, when you steer in you still got some brake on, and with the speed you take the pressure off the brake again can also determine how much rotation you will get into the turn. That is way more difficult than the braking and turning at the same time. Way more difficult, but you'll just have to do it and practice. It's not something that you gain a whole lot of time of, and it's not something that I normally are aware of doing. I just do it. So it's worth thinking about if you're in the 42s, but if you're doing 43s, 44s, 45s, don't waste your time thinking about it. Just use the trick with braking and turn when so the weight's on the front. Alright, I'll continue. And you're in 3rd gear, and you go in here. Don't hit the red curve again, just clip it like this, and full throttle from the apex, and needs to be full throttle all the way out on this exit. 4th gear. You go out on the curb, just fast click the brake, turn in. Don't hit the red marker, clip it like this, full throttle. All the way out on this exit. And continue in 4th gear, continue in 4th gear, continue. Go out on this curb. Going straight on this curb. And here is a very difficult turn. You can see the white marker here. Yeah. This is not the braking point, but just after this white line, you can see in the middle of the car, pretty much. That's the braking point, or not the braking point again, but after this is the braking, and you're still in 4th gear. Go past the white line, brake hard, quickly downshift to 3rd gear, stay out, stay out, stay out, start to turn in here, or just to go to 3rd gear, and you hit the curb here, and you keep on the curb, and at this red marker, don't hit it, full throttle, and you have a white line like this, full throttle, and just hit the white line, or the white curb before you get an off track. 3rd gear. Taking 4th gear, and this is probably one of the turns that causes the most crashes. Alright, you can see the 2 marker, that's actually where I brake. The reason why I brake at the 2 marker, it seems very early, and it is, but the reason is I want to get the car slowed down to the amount where I can turn the car in, and when I just get the car turned, I'll go full throttle again. That means I'm at full throttle way before the apex of the turn, and that means I get a very high exit speed, and I can carry that exit speed all the way up the hill. And since this car is very low powered, having that extra speed up the hill is really good, because you can also get a few more RPMs, and that RPMs will make you accelerate even faster. So the advantage will just keep growing. So yeah, again, the reason why I brake early is to get the speed out of the turn. So I brake here, turn in, coast in 4th gear, I think it is. Hit the apex, full throttle, all the way out on the exit, all the way out, and keep driving. And then it's important to go quickly over to the left, because as you can see, if you look to the right side of the road and to the left side of the road, the left side road is not as steep uphill as the right side of the road, so you actually gain a few thousandths of a second going to the left instead of keeping to the right. So it's what I call free time, or free gain time, but you don't really have to put an effort into winning, so it's just take it. It's if you do it every lap, it's maybe worth 0.2 of a second, and that might win you the race or keep you in front. Alright, drive on this curb, I always do that, and keep driving, and then start turning in here, and here I start braking. Start braking before the 3 marker, and then I just keep braking in a straight line, going to 4th, I think I'm in 4th gear, going to 3rd gear, and I keep this line, still keeping this line, and now go to 2nd gear, and when I select 2nd gear I get a good turn in, so I'll have an angle like this, turn, very nice angle, and now I'll go straight. A lot of people are very afraid to cut the inside of the sand, which is down to the right. You cannot see it right now because it's steep downhill, but a lot of people are afraid of hitting that, because if you hit it a little bit you get an off track, if you hit it a lot you will get a slowdown, and both are pretty bad. But yeah, what you want to aim for, if you miss the exit, if you miss the entry a little bit and you will get a tight corner. Then you need to aim for the 2 trees over here. I'm not sure if you can see my cursor, but the 2 trees right in front of you, that's close together, that's what you need to aim for. But if you nail the entry, like I just showed you how to do, then you need to aim for the little tree here. Alright, it's very simple. Just aim for that tree and you go straight. And you turn. That's easy. And yeah, stay to the right here, and you are in 3rd gear here. And instead, a lot of people go out here to the right, and all the way out to the curb, and make the corner very, wide and smooth. But the thing is, from this corner down here to the next right-hander, there's not a very far distance. So normally the reason why you take a smooth turn and a wide entry is to get a good run out of the corner, and most important if it's out on a straight. But this corner is not out on a straight. This corner is out to pretty much where you go from the right side to the road to the left side of the road and then brake. You don't have a lot of distance between the left-hander to the next right-hander. So the amount of time you gain by going wide and then having a smooth corner to the next turn, or from the from apex to the exit of the turn to the next turn, is way less than what you lose with going wide. So in short terms, stay close in this corner. It's quicker than going wide. So this is the radius you need to take, and you are in 3rd gear, and you just brake a little bit, turn in, and you cut this corner here, full throttle, go all the way out to the exit, just clip the white one, going back, 4th gear, brake, stay out, then stop, turn in, don't hit the wet one, full throttle at the apex, all the way out on the exit, full throttle, slowly moving back to the right, and you can see the second, the 200 meter marker. I don't think it's a 200 meter marker, but it's the number 2 sign. After the number 2 sign, you brake, not at it, or not before, after the 2 marker. After the 2 marker you brake, going down through the gears, 3rd gear, and now 2nd gear, and you trail brake a little and turn, and you can be very aggressive over this red corner, or this red curb thingy. Can you see it? You can see it now. There it is. You can be very aggressive over that one, and that's the only time on a lap you can hit it without losing time or spinning somehow. So you can use that being a bit aggressive. Sometimes you can be a bit unlucky and get an off track, but it's worth some time, quite a lot of time actually, if you nail it. So yeah, it's worth taking if you're looking for the last few tenths. I'll see if I can do a lap. These tires are pretty damn cold now. Around it goes. We're ready for a lap. This is my first lap for today, so I don't promise anything really on how I'll perform. Yeah, I was too greedy and I got an off track. Yeah, I just have to get into a rhythm and see if I can post somewhat of a decent time. Oh yeah, my tires are very cold. You can see I lose a lot of time even on the straights. hit the red dot. Oh, the curve thing. Stupid. One more time. I'm very rusty it seems. And far behind. Somewhat least lap. Yeah, fairly good turn. Shit turn. See if I can nail the corkscrew. Not nailed. Decent. Come on. See, I went over the red dot this time and I didn't get an off track, so it's a balance. Yeah, shit lap 48.1. Oh no, oh that's 41.8. So yeah, some drifting. Yeah, I can do another lap if, yeah. First lap of the day, it's decent, I guess. Far off anything good. And yeah, we can just run through the lap if you want. Good pitch. And it has to be said, because of the cold tires, I was going very slowly on the start and finish straight. So I didn't go up to 5th gear. I'm normally in 5th gear by now, but yeah. And the braking point is again the free marker. I'll just play free marker and brake. You can see I'm on full brakes. Making downshift. 3rd gear should pop up soon. There, 3rd. And you can see I'm still on full throttle. 2nd. And now start to go off when I start turning. It's very important that you start to unwind your steering when you you reduce the pressure on the brake when you start turning. As you can see, I'm almost at the limit I can turn, as I told you earlier, and you can see I'm very little on the brake. So yeah, adjusting and full throttle way before the apex. 3rd gear starting to open up my steering, so I can get the maximum acceleration and get the maximum of the power in the ground. And here you can see downshift 3rd gear, and I'll just show you the technique with the braking. You can see 4th gear, and you will see quickly go on the brake and steer at the same time, and I steer at the same time. Yes, very nice. Full throttle, and I hit the red one. Don't do that. I was a noob right here. Go, go, go. And again, just hitting the brakes a little bit and steer. You saw the amount very little. Steer in, full throttle way before the apex again. Hit that curb. Don't tell anyone that I did that. And yeah. When you look at slow motion, I can see all my mistakes. It's horrible. Right, stay to the right. This turn was actually pretty good. As you can see, full brake, 3rd gear, start to turn and start to unwind the pressure on the brakes, and it turns in nicely, and I'm on full throttle now, way before the apex. See, I was a pussy right there. You want to see? I'll just play by frames. Pop, 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 pop. You can see I'm full throttle, but now you can see I know I'm gonna hit that red one. So look at my throttle. Now I hit it, and see the throttle. It starts to go down. not good. Not good. Not good. But at least I carried so much speed that it was okay. I didn't lose so much time with my personal best. And really 4th gear. And if we use the rear chase, it's pretty clearly how you need to use the track. You can see track exit, boop, 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 right out on the curb. And it doesn't give you an off track, so use it, please use it. That's where the time I found on the Laguna Seca is on these curbs on the exit. Alright, we'll continue. I'll just go back to the cockpit, and the 2 marker is my braking point. And when we get close, I'll just slow it down further. 2 marker, brake, steer in, and I got the steering now, and I'm supposed to go full throttle now. Yeah, full throttle now, way before the apex, and I got a bit of oversteer. But yeah, this was actually quite bad exit. It need to be 141, 142 on the exit, and mine was 139, 138. And then lose all that momentum up the hill, and that sucks big time. Alright, we go for steer in, and I'm supposed to brake around here. Yeah, full braking, 3rd gear, adjusting the brake pressure, 2nd gear, and I start to unwind my braking as I steer in, and you can see full throttle. Now is you can see how much I'm on the throttle already at this apex. Look, and it starts climbing, and I straighten out my steering, and it's supposed to go up back on full throttle, and it is. Now I'm on full throttle, and you won't see it lift again, or you should not see it lift again. Yeah, and bang. Yes. Not something I have not mentioned. Catching this curve down here is worth a lot of time. At least 1/10. Maybe not 2/10, but at least 1/10 hitting that curve, because when you hit it, it will just shoot you this way. You won't gain any speed of it, but it's just way quicker than running on the road down here and running on the road there, and you have to turn. Instead, this will turn the car instead of the steering wheel will turn the car. So yeah, it's much quicker, and I hit it fairly well. Not perfect, but okay. Again, 4th gear. This time I was a bit wide in this corner, but yeah, it was okay. Hitting the brakes a little bit, and so go back on full throttle now. Full throttle, starting to unwind the steering. Plenty of room out here I can use, but again, noob lap. Braking hard, keeping out, steering in, and full throttle here. Yeah, I lifted a bit, I was a noob. Yeah, full throttle using the exit, going back to the right, braking after the 2 marker, going past 2 marker, full braking, 3rd gear, 2nd gear. You see I unwind my braking, straight in, over the right curb, boop, full throttle. See how early I went on full throttle? Bang, full throttle. And I'm still got an angle where I will hit that tree. But yeah, full throttle. And going all the way out on it. Starting to unwind my steering. Unwinding steering. There. 3rd gear. Yes. And then just going to the line. That's how 141.8 is. Looks like. A very bad lap, but yeah, should be more than enough to show you how to get around this track. Yeah, my personal best from this week is a 141.297, which is a fairly okay lap. As you can see, my 4th sector was horrible, but yeah, otherwise it was a pretty good lap. My optimal is 141.155, which would be a very good lap to turn. But yeah, Anyway, I think that's pretty much sums everything up. If you got any questions, make sure to uh, yeah, write them in the thread I got going on in the rookie section, and I'll try to answer the best way possible. Or if I cannot answer the question, try to look it up. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah, don't forget to follow me on Twitch for more videos. If I won't get any feedback, I won't continue because I got better things to do then. So follow and give some feedback. Yeah, thanks for watching. Bye bye. How the fuck do I stop this? There.